Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels, networks, platforms. Mike Morales sitting on his platform in the San Gabriel Valley of Southern California. That guy out there is
Rick Levy, also in Southern California in the San Pasqual Valley.
Hey, it's a state of many microclimates, folks.
I've got a valley too.
Yeah, you've got a valley too. He's a valley boy. I'm an East Valley boy. That means I don't, Well, here's something that'll gag you with a spoon. No, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Rick and I are going to be dissecting Senor de los...
Oh, your bottle's different.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. You got a different... I got this bottle. You must have a different vintage. Rick got a special bottle. But as you can see, mine's a little frosted. And here it does carry that little airplane charm, that little jet. For those of you who are not familiar, this is owned by an actor, a Mexican actor of fame, some fame. His name is Alberto Agnesi. And Alberto has acted in several soap operas, one notably called La Señora de Acero, which is the Iron Lady. What I can't figure out is I thought that he had been in this soap opera. This is a famous soap opera. Senor de los Cielos is based on a not a gun runner, but more of a drug runner who was a pilot. And that was his claim to fame, that he could, that he was able to fly drugs for the Colombians over Mexico into the US. So that's what this whole premise is based on. And I think it's probably geared to the Hispanic audience, Mexican audience. But we're going to just pour the juice. This is a what? It is a Cristalino.
Añejo Cristalino.
Is it Añejo Cristalino?
Añejo Cristalino.
Okay, well, I don't have the word añejo, so but no problem. I'll take your word for it because it looks like you have a newer bottle than I do. So we're gonna pop the cork, we're gonna pour the juice, and we're gonna tell you all the ins and outs. If you haven't seen the Blanco review, you haven't missed anything. Because we're probably gonna repeat it here. But go watch the Blanco review. Okay. I don't know. You're pouring yours in a Stasso jarrito. I used the jarrito that I normally use for mezcal. It's got a much wider mouth.
Bubbles hung out on top for a little bit.
Yeah, these things they're full of bubbles. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to that Blanco, but knowing what I know. And I'm getting legs and tears. They're pretty, this one's actually clinging more to the glass, a little bit thicker than the Blanco. I wouldn't say that the juice is shiny though. I'm not getting
I don't think the Blanco was either. The Blanco was pretty clear.
Yeah.
And then this one just has the slightest yellow tinge.
Yeah, it's very, very light, which
it's kind of like with the light bulbs now. You have the 3000 Kelvin bulbs that are like the daylight bulbs,
right?
And then you have the 2700 Kelvin bulbs that are the warm white. So this is a warm
white.
Yeah. A warm white.
It's like the difference between white and eggshell. I remember that. I don't want white. I want eggshell. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and with a Cristalino, generally you don't want it super clear because what the idea is it's an aged spirit that they run through filters and it strips the color a little bit and maybe takes away some of the barrel flavors so that the agave comes through. It's kind of like having, if it's well done, it's like having the best of both worlds. You have the character of an agave and you have some of the wood notes in an añejo, but you don't go full bore añejo or extra. And apparently they're drinking a lot of this in Mexico. I had heard from people that I interviewed that the Cristalino is taken off. And
Really?
yeah, surprisingly so. It is still not an official category or expression for tequila. I understand supposedly there's going to be a new known normas coming out this year, but I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen. Where that may be one of the changes where they make the Cristalino something official now for the, for the as an expression. Okay, well, it's got pretty legs and tears. Visually, it's pretty. It's pretty. I'm not going to lie. That's nice. It acts nicely. It's not too thin. Oh, nice even legs.
I'm not getting a lot of legs though. It seems more to me like it's coating and sheeting, and then leaving the the constellation of pearls.
Well, see, that's how the Blanco worked for me. You were getting, and
I was getting legs.
Yeah,
on,
at first I was just getting a beating, and then eventually I got legs.
yeah, I'm getting a couple legs, but it's just kind of sheeting and then leaving the constellation of what would you call them? Pearls?
Yeah, pearls or tears. So at least, so you're getting snail trail is what you're getting.
Well, what does it smell like?
Hey,
Smells like a Cristalino.
I'm getting alcohol. That's a good sign.
Some of those lighter citrus notes we're picking up on in the Blanco, grapefruit, lemon.
Right. And I'm still getting lingering bubbles. That's weird, man. I'll let you know why it's weird in a few minutes, folks. If you haven't watched the Blanco review, I'll have to fill you in. I'll let you in on the secret. Yeah, the citrus notes are kind of like either on one side of the glass or at the bottom, either above or below, mixed with the alcohol.
And then, for me, Cristalino is still a bit of a weird animal because it's barrel minus, it's like you add the barrel stuff and then you take some of it away and what's left is different.
Yeah, well, and that's the general idea. If it's done right, it really, there's only been one that I know of that's been done right, and one that comes a close second that you and I had, Penta.
Yeah.
Penta was really good at doing exactly what it was supposed to do. I got a wider mouth on this, wider mouth surface on this glass, and I still got to dig for getting anything other than what I'm getting.
Right.
I'm getting a lot of alcohol is what I'm getting. And maybe some.
There's not a lot of layers.
No, it's not complex. I was getting a little bit of citrus, and now I can't even find it. I have had, to be fair, I have had another Cristalino from this distillery that did have a much brighter nose than this one does. I don't know. Do you want to go and dive in and see what we taste?
Yeah. The nose isn't offensive. There's not a lot there.
Nope.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah, okay. This tastes just like that other Cristalino. Except the other one was in a very expensive bottle. Very expensive. There is a slight bitterness.
I noticed more sweetness on the intake.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's much more palatable than the Blanco was for me.
It's a little, and the consistency is a little creamier.
Yeah.
Still pretty hot.
Yeah. It's still astringent. There's still that astringency, that telltale astringency there, but it's got more character on the flavor than it did in the nose, and more so than the
Right.
Blanco, because that Blanco to me was just not palatable at all. This one reminds me a lot of the other one that we had from this distillery.
Did I have that one with you?
No, Alex and I did. The copy, the Instagram, everything was just all, well, here, let's just expose it, okay? This is coming out of the distillery that is not from our favorite distillery, but it is a valid distillery. This is known 1489. It is Destilería Leiros. Same distillery that makes Casa Dragones, Republic Tequila now. Shortly, a couple of others, I'm sure. They have several brands. Enemigo is one that we had from there. I don't know, Rick. Can we find a reason for this? I mean, there's already a reason not to make Cristalinos, but is there a reason to use this anywhere? Does it have a redeeming value?
I'm just, I'm kind of coming back. For me, I'm always thinking of the price point too. I think this is a $50 bottle, this Añejo Cristalino. And with the Blanco, I was thinking, okay, yeah, you can mix this, but why would you mix it at this price when, if you're willing to have this quality, you could find that at a lower price point? And so I'm kind of wondering with this, it's like, I could probably mix it with something, but why?
Well, here's the thing too. With a Cristalino, you're supposed to get a little bit of the wood notes. Are you getting any barrel? Where are the wood notes? I mean, we've had, like I said, my bar right now is Penta.
Yeah.
We've had Penta, and you could taste that little bit of the wood notes.
Unless it's additives that's giving me the additional sweetness and the creaminess. It's possible that could be from time in wood, where those some of those flavors have been stripped away with the filtering process, or it's glycerin.
Yeah. We'll never know. They'll never tell us. There's just having had really great tequilas for a long time with Rick and I, we're used to having the juice coat this whole, like I say, this orifice. This whole thing is a tool, all of it. The roof of your mouth, the back of your throat, your tongue, underneath your tongue. You should be able to, the juice should be able to react to every side of your orifice here pleasantly. You're used to, oh, up here I got sweetness, back there. You've seen us do this, folks, if you've been watching us, sides of our cheek. But there are parts.
Yeah, and then even into the retronasal and
yeah,
how it feels going down.
But there are parts of my mouth, like I put this up to the rear and the back of my mouth by almost before the uvula, right? It's bitter. It's bad. It's still, for me, that's how it's reacting for me. I put it underneath my tongue. Why is it, how is it that it's like palatable on one side of my mouth and unpalatable to the other side? That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. If it's good on one side of my mouth, why is it shitty on the other side of my mouth? Sorry, folks. It's shitty on the other side of my mouth. This is like pissing me off. And I get no wood notes. I get nothing.
Well,
What do I
yeah,
say?
it's you can only work with what you start with. And when you're starting with something that's highly processed from a diffuser, there's only so much you can do. You know, you can turn it into some kind of Frankenstein thing. You know, you're working with something dead to begin with. And then you can try to add some life to it.
It's alive,
You know,
it's alive.
some of the things you do to try to add life to it may work, and others may not.
Wow, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, folks, we can beat this to death, you know, but it's already like Rick said, it's already dead. So that, you know what, that's our take. I'm not going to waste any more of your time, ladies and gentlemen, and ours. Look, maybe he meant well. You know, that's the thing. There are brand owners who are stuck making this because and they have great intentions. You know, there's other companies out there with a diffuser making it better. All right, I've had it. I'm not with you, but I've had it with Felipe. One in particular called Prospero. That's made with a diffuser, but it's actually well done. And there are other companies using diffusers just as glorified shredders. This isn't it. This one, this label, no. And I don't know what else to say except, you know, hang on to you. That's a $50 charm right there, man. And it's not even gold or silver. So I don't know. Anyway, I extremely disappointed.
There might be some states in the US where you get a deposit on the bottle.
Okay, that's our take, gentlemen, on Senor de los Cielos. If you've had it someplace else and you actually enjoy it, don't leave a comment. Don't tell us why. In fact, just move along. Keep scrolling. I'm sure there's a guy in New Jersey that you can watch. You know, they will love this shit. But not us. I can't.
There's better stuff out there.
Yeah, for
You
cheaper.
can't recommend it.
Rick's a shopper. Rick does his pre-shopping beforehand. And
I'm shrewd. I grew up poor, so
yeah.
When you grow up that way, you can't get it out.
You can't get away from it. And obviously you've shopped very well in your lifetime because that's the best Zoom background I've ever seen. So folks, that's our take on Senor de los Cielos. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Rick Levy, also in Southern California.
You've been watching and listening to us berate each other on Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe. If you follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Pinterest. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.